So is there a bad time to buy? In certain markets, yes. Here, again, not really. If it's a matter of getting in or not getting in, I mean, do you wait a year to be able to time it right seasonally and then pay 3 or 4% more because we saw, another year of appreciation? That probably ends up putting you in a worse position than pulling the trigger, taking advantage of low interest rates, and getting into a home versus paying somebody else's mortgage. Let's talk a little bit about market climates. And I touched on this, or I alluded to it, but effectively what you have is if your average days on market, in other words, if the average number of days to sell a home from the time it hits MLS to the time it's in escrow is 3 to 4 months, we call that a buyer's market. If it's more than 4 months, it tips into a buyer's market from a balanced market. And if it takes less than 3 months, it becomes a seller's market. And if it's less than 2 months, it's a hot seller's market, that's the kind of market we saw right up to 1 million. Once it got over 1 million, it started tipping toward maybe just a slight seller's market and even a balanced market. What does that matter? It really is a matter of who has more leverage in negotiations. If it's a buyer's market, you have more leverage as a buyer. If it's a seller's market, you have more leverage as a seller. If it's a seller's market, buyers are lining up to buy your home and you get to call the terms. And if it's a buyer's market and there's a lot of inventory, not a lot of buyers, then you're going to have more control over the negotiations as a buyer.